Well, what a terrible Seahawk game that one was. Boy, we have a laundry list of complaints. Actually, as a contrarian, I can't think of one. Not one single thing.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, that didn't go right in that game. There really wasn't anything. And of all the things that jump out that you can talk about, I mean, let's go with 490 yards of offense. So the offense was terrific. We know how good the offensive line was. And maybe something that jumped out a little bit was the performance top to bottom of that wide receiver core.
Yeah, we had a chance to catch up with Golden Tate. You can check out the interview on the podcast page. But he was brilliant. Doug Baldwin was brilliant. Curse was brilliant. It was arguably the best day for the receivers all season long. They all had huge clutch catches. Golden Tate with a one-handed catch in the back of the end zone at the end of the first half. Curse with the touchdown grab on that little modified flea flicker from Marshawn to Wilson. I mean, it was just such a great day. And what you walk away from that game feeling is not only do they have weapons, and they're going to get perhaps their biggest weapon back when Percy Harvin finally is able to play, but you don't miss Sidney Rice. And we all love Sidney, great guy. He's loaded with talent. He was your big receiver in terms of stature. But maybe Curse is a guy who's slowly starting to fill that role. We'll see. Not a real long resume yet, but we've talked about injuries and where guys are going to be missed and the impact of their absence. The receiving core is not being impacted by the absence of Sidney Rice.
I think in the case of Golden Tate, what you're talking about is he's everything that Sidney Rice was supposed to be, except he's not 6'4". I mean, the sense in this league was with Larry Fitzgerald, with White, with Julio Jones, guys like that. If you're going to have a true star receiver, he needs to be big. Now, Steve Smith belies that, puts a lie to that, and I'm beginning to think that Golden Tate is the same thing. The guy's explosive every time he catches the ball. He can seemingly catch it in any situation. You talked about the one-handed catch. I mean, he's just been great at it. He is the big play guy that they've wanted. And they got a chance to work Curse in kind of slowly. And I think in the case, we were talking on the show about where Percy Harvin's catch is going to come from. You know what? They might come from the tight end position. It might be fewer targets for Wilson and Zach Miller, which is probably not great news for them, but they can augment the running game a little bit more. You're going to have Harvin line up in the backfield, line up in the slot. It's an embarrassment of riches at the wide receiver position, and that's something that I don't think any of us were thinking when Sidney Rice went down.
No, you really wondered how they were going to compensate. Not that he was a huge impact guy in terms of stats, but he was a guy that drew that defense to him.
You figured he did, but maybe he didn't.
They've seemed to, kind of. They haven't skipped a beat, so to speak, and they really just all came together against the Falcons. And we'll see if they can continue that against perhaps some stiffer competition in the Saints and the 49ers down the road. But, boy, that game against the Falcons has got to make you feel good about every aspect of this team.
Well, check out the podcast with Golden Tate. He was definitely feeling good.